is, interestingly, 1-for-1 time has been kept. And it is the evening of 9th of Aul. It is July. And the night before the 10th. And the last thing I have is that you all had set camp on your 6th day into the wilderness. That's what I have.
I think so.
Yeah, 6 days was about right, because I don't have my map now, but I wrote down the days on it.
So how was your mapping last time, guys?
I just did a scribble map to have it so I'd be able to work my way back.
This is what I'm seeing on Roll20 is definitely not orienting me.
You might have to watch the previous ones.
Yeah, I will. I haven't had a chance yet.
Our mapping game is nowhere near yours, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Is this like south of the ford? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have to describe it.
We are
No, it's east. Far
we
east.
are east of the ford.
Okay.
We passed the Forest of Hope.
And we
Oh,
passed.
wow, okay.
Yeah,
We're in
we
the forest of no hope.
Can't wait to
We-
map it.
sort of roughly stayed along the river.
Okay.
The river is north, I think.
Didn't we? Or did we
I think
cut?
it's-
We cut straight through the forest.
Yeah, we
Never mind.
went straight through.
We cut through the
Okay.
forest, and we went to the south of a little range of hills, in which we were told by our orc guides that there was apparently a wizard. He said he looked like me, who is a boss in his own right.
Okay.
I mean to copy this over, I just didn't get a chance to.
Hold that still for a second so I can look at it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Well, it's just notations for me. I'll make it out to a.
Yeah. Take a photo and put it up on Discord.
No, not until I.
You are
Rework.
probably, we'll say, even doing this in character because you find that in the night, the things that you saw before suddenly you can't even see the forest that you came from, as a kind of misty, drizzly rain falls. The kind of rain that just sort of is like a cloud coming down. Misty drizzle. And it gets everywhere. And Dalton. Now, also, I want to offer this because I saw it mentioned in chat. I always default to Dalton. My in-fiction reasoning is that he's a ranger, which is taken from the Aragorn archetype, and Aragorn didn't sleep. You know, he was always just creepily standing there, even no matter what time of night or what was going on, you know. And so I have but this is totally in the realm of what is fun for you all, because it also completely makes sense if you want to set up watches, and that way, you know, if something happens at a certain time, a certain person would then hit that watch. Which would you prefer?
Well, if you believe that a ranger can stay up at all times, then sure, I'll take the benefit.
I think from an in-character perspective, I don't think that's ever explained. I think it's just inexplicable and weird and creepy, and it's just another creepy Dalton thing. Why is
I'm
it
fine
always
with that.
Dalton?
I'm a huge fan of creepy Dalton things, so I have no objection.
That was my understanding of Dalton.
Oh, we should still have
anyways.
watches defined for
Maybe he just
other
happens to
people.
wake up right before it.
Right, he could have a sixth sense or whatever that's working, but we should still have, I think, a generic, you know, however we're splitting the watches, just so we know who he happens to be alerting or whatever at the time.
Well,
because
My gut, this is how I would usually handle this: is I just roll 1d6 to see whose watch it is. There's 6.
well,
of us
how
here.
many watches are there, and how many hours are we?
fine.
Who cares? It's
Well,
1d6 chance.
You can
Don't think about
also, yeah.
Okay.
Another thing is that you could take you have so many people that you could kind of, and actually we did this. If you have a patrol base, you don't just you don't necessarily just go around the clock. You also can have the squads do it. So since you guys are kind of the bosses, then you could imagine adjacent to you is going to be your buddies that you're commanding or something. So that is to say that you could increment it into 6, right?
The only reason I say that is you have 2 magic user and a thief as watch, and they can be killed in one shot. And
Magnus is not taking any watches.
Yeah, I would imagine if you did that, that is to say,
I've got Rex with me. We got the orcs.
Yeah,
He pops like a soap bubble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said about defining watches. We wouldn't have certain people on watch.
Well, yeah, we got all these mercenaries. We got the orcs. I think for now we can just say, there's one orc and 2 mercenaries on watch at any given time if it's in the middle of the night.
Now I will kind of point, but this still works out. And then I'll offer like 3 options here. But like, one thing, Dan, that you're saying is true is if something happens and it interrupts your sleep at the wrong point, you could tell me, if you had your watch at the end of the night and it happened at the best possible time, and that's when the spellcaster's on watch, the clerics, then now the clerics have spells for that day. So that's good, right? I think that,
yeah, we always used to plan it out so the one of the people that was awake at the end was the spellcaster who was studying anyway on the last watch. But that's because we used to do watches by the hours and stuff. We're just doing rolling dice is fine.
I will just assume that, and then the other there are 3 options. Option number 1, Dalton does all the rolls, and that conveys his benefit of only a 1 in 6 being surprised, including if the monster has a special ability, which many of these do. They'll say surprises on a 4 in 6.
Cool.
If it's anybody else, if it says surprises on a 4 in 6, it just does. I'll have the monster roll and you won't even know. The other option is I roll a d6, and then lastly I can just go down the order that I have, which is also the order of when you're up to be collared. Which would you all prefer?
I like Dalton.
I like Dalton
doing it.
Very well.
I certainly complain entertainingly when I roll a 1, which is really
you still have this.
You do have an astonishingly high rate of rolling 1s. It's really interesting.
13% of the time, it happens every time.
Yeah, if you roll a 1, we'll switch.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
No, because it's a win-win. We can blame him.
So Dalton, roll a d6.
I rolled a 2.
Nice. Dalton,
what god-awful thing is a promise now?
let's see.
Villagers that will kill by accident.
God, don't remind me.
This is the last watch of the night. So early before sunrise comes, there are let's see here. I have this wrong. I'm sorry. This is in the middle of the night. I had to scratch it out and then I put it back. Once again, Dalton, you see off in the distance. This is some ranger stuff, some demi-human level stuff, because again it's misty, and you probably have to see something like in the mist, a tree, and you can actually see the tree move, and it gives you the thing you need to know about what's happening underneath it. Only Dalton would be able to know something like this. That once again, some undercurrent, some tide in the brush and the forest floor is undulating and moving as if a wave towards you all right now, about 150 yards, and it's in this direction.
Anything moving that's going to start jostling the trees around, I don't want to be in front of. I'm going to alert the crew to great news, we're getting up early and we're having a nap later. Come on, let's get out of here.
Is the plan and you're also the caller tonight, is the plan to flee? You will not gain the benefits of rest unless you stop somewhere else, and then finish a rest. Rest again. Or is
anything that comes in a swarm that shakes the trees is not that's going to be both very dangerous, and I don't think they'll have any money. So I think we should just get out of its way.
All right, now we're about to see the life-saving effect of having a ranger in this game, because it is completely dark all around you and covered in a blanketing mist. It's impossible to see. However, you can't get lost except on a 1 in 6, so you can roll a d6 again.
Well,
Awesome.
revolt.
Let me look and see what happens.
Do we sprint? Do we flee directly into the path of this god awful thing? I freaking hope not. Let's find out.
So we're just
Yeah,
like
we
scattering
might.
off the forest?
Richard, in our Thursday night group, at the very end of the campaign, one of the treasures Bill gave out to our ranger was this special like thing, which was basically equivalent of a compass.
Oh,
Because-
those are good.
Yeah, because it was a magical device equivalent, basically, of a compass. Because Chris, invariably, on a 1 in 6 chance of getting lost, got lost every time leading us, except for maybe 2 times in a year and 6 months of play.
You
We have been cracking on his ranger skills of being lost all the time. I mean, one time we followed a river and came back to the head of the river. How we got turned around and kept the river on, who knows, but we did. So there you go. So it can happen. Statistics.
you flee, and I'm gonna make a roll for something.
Do we have horses?
You have horses, so
Lots.
so
We have lots of horses.
You know,
We brought all our horses.
you know, I'm gonna assume the best. That you guys have just magnificent command and control. Probably not realistic in real life, but we're gonna say you guys are just elite, and so you have the ability to get everyone awake, get your equipment now, get to the horses, and go.
So we can get lost as a group, not as individuals.
This to me would be superhuman to not possibly lose part of the group. So
Yeah.
with what I'm about to describe. So I'm going to just leave that to a dice roll, and I'm gonna give it like a chance. Okay, great. Okay, so this is what happens. It could be worse. You bolt, and Dalton, like, you just have to trust Dalton. He's like, we have to go now. You lose your sleep. You probably lose equipment. Some people do. Don't worry, you didn't lose your equipment. But you get on your horse and you just bolt. You hear horses slam into and splinter into trees, and orcs, and you hear yelling in the night, in the misty night, and suddenly you realize you're in dense forest. Fortunately, at the last second, Dalton, you find a meadow-like clearing, and you're able to because you already have this cacophony, this chaos. You're able to kind of like raise a command in the night to get everyone to where you're at before they get too dispersed, and you have these different groups that split up out into the forest. You get them into this meadow. This takes 2-3 hours of time. Not just the fleeing, but getting kind of disoriented, get everyone back together, counting everyone, and with that, it is deep into the night. You can see ahead of you, so it's just mist now, and you're all just doused in this light, misty rain that has fallen, and it's hanging everywhere. It's hard to see anything, and you can see the moon hanging above Albion, up above, and what would otherwise be a clear night sky. You can see a hill poking up above the mist, somewhere that way. But otherwise, you can't see anything around you except mist and some trees. What do you do?
Okay. The whole crew's here? We didn't
Yeah,
lose any.
you did a head count, and you have everyone.
Okay. It's late at night?
Yeah, it's probably 3 in the morning now.
Okay.
You think we're far enough from them, whatever those things were?
I think so. If they're going to chase us after all that, there's no fleeing them.
All right. Set up
Hunker
camp.
down. Yeah. I think we should set up camp again here. Just a second, let me check my inventory because I might have some useful kit for
Should
this.
be
What do we
useful
have to?
to-
No, I don't have anything good for this. What was your suggestion, Alaric?
I was asking if the hill is close enough to be useful to go there, so we have that landmark.
That
might
hill
be.
is about 8 miles away, I think.
Then it's not really okay.
No, not in this weather. Maybe in the morning. It'll give us a good
Yeah,
view
yeah.
of the surrounding area.
I'm also nervous because if we got turned around in any way, it could be the southernmost hill where that wizard was supposed to be.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Good call.
That would be
All
bad.
right. We'll hunker down for now. I'm trying to decide if it makes sense to try and lay down tripwires or other like noisemaker defenses to improve our odds of getting woken if anything comes upon
With
us.
so many people, we'd probably have somebody tripping it going to the bathroom.
You're right.
Yeah,
there's
a
something to be
centuries.
done about it. All right.
Since they can't eyeball it.
I think the only reason, like, this is just me like hypothesizing, but I think the only reason we're able to like manage the heroic command and control that we're describing is frankly Alaric, because he's got that charisma of 15, which is pretty high, and Dalton's got an 8. He's not a leader of men.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. In order to get the benefits of a night's rest without penalty, you will need to sleep for 6 hours from now without
right.
interruption.
Let's hope.
Yep, let's try again.
Let's just
All right.
say, yeah, we're gonna camp out into the
Try
morning.
to
a
sleep.
little bit. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
The
If there's any good trees to climb where I can like keep an eye out from, I'll probably do that. But otherwise, nap time.
Well, we got orcs too to help us with the night vision.
That's true. They can see in the dark.
We just divide
Well,
them up.
that, I did. That's why I said what I said. We should assume that there's not that they're not better than Dalton. I'm just saying in terms of who's awake, that kind of thing. And yeah, orcs.
Dalton would do a lot to be able to see in the dark. Like
Their
orcs do.
native time is at night,
That's true.
so
Right.
they're nocturnal creatures.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
It's time for a game of Russian roulette. Do we roll a random encounter?
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and queue up a d6.
Just checking something real quick.
Boy.
I forgot the -1 penalty in sunlight. Thanks for the reminder.
That is important to know.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, goblins get it as well, and I don't know if hobgoblins do. I'm not sure, but not to. I don't want to get too meta about it, but I think.
Yeah, I know goblins and orcs do. I suspect hobgoblins do not, but I don't know.
All right, so the sun, you can tell, rises, although it's a sort of diffuse kind of soup that it's that you can see it through. Although the light is ambient around you, you are buffeted in mist today. You can't really even see. There is no appreciable landmarks, but I'll tell you there is a couple of things. You can see the tippy top of a hill far off in the distance above the mists. You can also smell sea air around you, but that could be very far away. And you do see forests around you. The best you can do is tell me like a cardinal, like go that way. Give me a cardinal direction.
So brutal.
How do we know which direction we're going?
We should consult the orcs real quick.
Actually, I mean, we should
We
be able
wanna
to tell by
definitely
which
go-
direction the moon went down.
That's a good point. I like that.
Well, these are things that are part of the reason that a ranger doesn't get lost, is he would pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if I didn't know any better, I would go look at the mountain and go this way in the direction of the mountain, like diagonal to my
Yeah,
right
I
as
know
I'm
what you're
staring at
saying.
the mountain, and
Yeah, those are-
backward a little bit.
Does
So-
he have an ability to like find directions?
Let me check.
So
I don't think
if
so off the
the-
top
if
of my
the-
head.
if the sun came up kind of this a ways, and the hills over this a ways, then you all can tell me which direction you want to go.
So if we're going east, we'd want to go away from the hill then, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I think
Fear the
that's a
hill.
good idea.
We'll try
these
and
orcs?
use.
Someone mentioned consulting the orcs.
Yes.
And they
Yeah, I mean, they'll help us again. Maybe someone should ask them if they can, like.
Oh, Magnus is in constant consultation with Murgulgug. What's his?
Merkelgug, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chiefest and strongest of the tribe. At least this detachment. Anyways, yeah, they say that this whole island challenges them and hates them, and they embrace its hatred, and they will one day devour this island, and it will not defeat their people. Pointing to like the undulating waves in the forest floor, the giant spiders, the mist buffeting you. Like to him, he thinks the island is alive and trying to devour you, and he simply roars defiantly against it.
I do feel that way sometimes. So I mean, respect to that. He's an insane person, but I like him.
Yeah.
So Magnus, I don't know if you're communing with these folks or whatever, but they've been guiding us right to this.
Yes. The best they can.
Are they lost too? I mean,
He gave me a rather nondescript answer.
Under the circumstances, I'd be astounded if they weren't. In this kind of mist with no sun, very sparse sense of like which way north is.
He curses this damp island. I do too.
well, then I guess all we can hope for is finding some landmark that they recognize. Or finding our tracks again.
Do they recognize that hill?
It's just like a little tippy top of a hill. No.
I mean, the thing is to go east. Really, we need to cover ground. I mean,
Dalton, roll a d6.
That's my vote.
Yeah. Hopefully there's some. Hopefully there's some landmarks they recognize.
One sec. How did
Otherwise, we're just wandering through the forest now, which is pretty amazing, honestly. I swear it's by luck. I swear you guys. I have a feeling like the last 2 sessions, you guys have been doing amazing, and now suddenly I'm here, and now everything you guys we're gonna collapse in the forest. And
5.
Nah, we haven't been doing that great.
You've been sucking. Okay, good.
I mean, we're alive, so not too bad.
We're all alive.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's bonus.
In the mist, you travel out into open grasslands and rocky, kind of low, gentle, waving, undulating hills. That's what you see around you as darkness begins to fall. You want to keep pushing. There's nothing else that you can see around you from here. But there is some good news in the evening, and that is that the winds are picking up.
Is there a sheltered spot in these hills?
Yeah, you're able to find a low area that sort of shields you against the winds, if that's your goal.
Is there any wildlife we could go like hunting for? Because I have a feeling that it would raise the morale of the orcs significantly if we could get some like fresh prey, and frankly everyone else as well. I don't know if this is a completely insane thing to ask.
No,
I assume
yeah,
Dalton would
you
know
can
better than
totally
I would.
ask. So, I think, and I've mentioned this before, I think this is something that the group has recently kind of observed. This was brought up, is last season there were regular and frequent, the forest itself was sort of different. One is that you had like these roaming bands of surviving refugees that were fleeing the eastern reaches. The other thing is that there were animals. You would encounter bears and deer and stuff. And I think this season, I don't think you've so far encountered an animal that hasn't been here to eat you.
Really? Wow.
So I guess we're surviving the fish.
Seems so.
It's that winter princess or whatever, the fairy queen, I swear.
You
Don't believe me, but I think it is.
I don't know.
You can remind me, but I'm sure there's a, what do you call a animal skinning I can't remember what the profession's
Canning,
called.
butchery,
The fur trader.
yeah,
Rapper.
peltier.
Oh, yeah.
Furrier?
I
Furrier.
thought furrier. Well, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have one, and business has been bad for them. Well, that's something you can, if you make it back alive, you could ask him if you want. You know.
Yes, fish it is. So right now we don't have any clear way of like where our destination is. The orcs aren't sure because we've diverged from their path and because the weather has been a nightmare.
Well,
I
will say that you do have like about a 90-degree angle, that because I will say that you're reliably able to tell where east is.
Oh, okay.
But right now, because you do
We're
have
still like a week away from our destination, assuming like we shoot straight, right?
when you ask the well, if you have Margulgug ask that by Magnus, he says, yeah, it's about a week by foot, but if we keep being cursed by the land itself, we could be here for all of time until we turn to bone. That's his response.
Oh, lovely.
We gotta give this guy some weed.
Yeah,
All right, let's go east.
Magnus just says, he says a week.
Right.
Is where we're going near the sea?
Seems likely.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, so then we just have to go east until we see the sea. And then we can
Yeah. So I'm noting,
Magnus is trying to keep tamped down any worry that might arise about these guys being among us. So he translates their words as dully as possible.
I appreciate this.
Murgulgug is a real cynic, isn't he? He's a real doomer. Just always.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there any orc optimists? I guess there might be. Actually, I wouldn't want to know. The answer would be you wouldn't want to meet one.
Right.
It'd be a very different sort of optimism.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go. Any objections to us just continuing to go east for now?
Well, right now
Yeah.
it's nighttime. Do you want to camp tonight, or do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially after last night. We are in no position to force march, not without a very clear destination.
All right.
Especially if the
Maybe the witness will pick up and drive that mist away.
Yeah, we might be able to see something the next day.
Dan, something very interesting. You're correct. We did need to set a watch because this will not involve Dalton for what I have here. Did we agree that it was by dice roll or by the order of who, like whose caller?
We didn't
Somebody
decide.
mentioned dice roll before. I just was saying it wouldn't be.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
But we
dice
want
roll.
to use some people, right? Like Magnus is not in there.
Okay.
Who else want to take watch?
Then
Caden definitely will.
So Magnus is the only one who's not in there.
Monacan can be part of it. Rex
Right.
stays next to Magnus.
Yeah, Ripley.
All right,
Yeah.
so Menachem is Magnus.
Yeah.
okay. And did you want to have like, and I might be getting this idea wrong, or maybe that the clerics, so that they can finish their rest and do all the things they're supposed to do and get their spells, you want them to go last, or
That sounds sensible. Yeah, keep
That's
them.
the way I always did it.
that way if they're
I always had the
they're
cleric,
not
but as long as there was
interrupted-
somebody else who was completely watching. The cleric
Okay.
awake, but he's praying, so he can't be eyeballing all the things.
Yeah.
There has to be somebody else with him.
So
And
I will say you have to pick one though. You have to pick one of the two clerics because this is like a team of people. so to
Limback
speak.
can go last.
All right,
I'll go last.
all right. In that case,
I mean,
And-
the volunteer
and
here, I was
our-
just saying I'm
okay.
not doing it.
And are we agreed on a number of mercenaries and orcs that are also awake at any given watch?
because they can
I
see
would
in the
say-
dark and everything, right?
I would say at least 4 mercenaries and 2 orcs per shift.
All right. In that case, this roll, Father Bloombat, is for your team of people at the last watch of the night. Roll a d6, please.
All right. I would of course like keep near the orcs so that like I could utilize his night vision.
Excellent.
Right.
This is what
Be
you
right
see.
back. I have to nip off to the restroom.
All right. One of the mercenaries is you see them standing up. Maybe you're finishing your prayers or something. This is before sunrise. One of the mercenaries goes off to a tree, and there's these 2 sets of trees, and then it kind of like drops off. He's gonna relieve himself, and starts to do that, and you see two things begin to coil up underneath him, and one starts going up the tree, and another one starts to go toward his leg. What do you do?
I'll cast light on the one going towards his leg.
All right. You cast light. There's good news and bad news. The good news is that this lights up the whole area, and the winds have picked up, by the way. So with that, you now have your mostly regular visibility as well, and suddenly it's like the light of day. And this terrifies, and he screams and falls back, just peeing on himself, falls down the hill and everything. There's this giant pit of vipers, like snakes, that he was peeing into right next to the campsite. And but you save his life, and the snakes flee and they go back into their pit. Probably, if no one bothers them, they're not going to bother anybody.
Or we could have barbecued snake for breakfast.
Yeah, or you could try to
Well, yeah.
Jump into a pit of vipers.
grenade or something you can toss in there, but
Yeah.
Let's live and let live.
I've got lots of oil.
Magnus is oil and just fire them all.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What horrible thing did I just miss?
Father
Somebody
Bloombad
was
just
peeing
saved
and a
somebody's
viper
life.
came at them.
Pit of vipers.
Okay, so and also this would particularly be important to for Dalton. He casts light, and so it's almost like a sunrise, and the winds have picked up, and that has blown off the mist to where the visibility has improved as much as you can see there. It's about 6 miles visibility, which I always go a little bit past to give a kind of a sense of where you are. So it's probably like 3 miles. So it's still limited, but the wind is clearing off this obscuration. Anyways,
We're near a shore, it looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
somewhat off.
yeah, I'll describe the area around you too. But the bad news is that this happened about 4 a.m. So once again, second night in a row, this thing, it's been pretty miserable. You're and there's no way. Like, I mean, no, you know what? That's not right. You have control over it. I'm taking that back. You can cast the light. Everybody wakes up. You're like, yeah, everybody go back to sleep, and you can just like cancel the light. It's not like it has to be permanent.
It probably wouldn't even wake them up.
I think it'd be pretty dramatic given how dark it is, but you could just say, hey, go back to sleep, and nothing to see here. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call.
The sort of thing where like it might disrupt our sleep, but not enough to like have game mechanical effects.
yeah, you can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We're cranky.
all right, cool. The sun rises. You got you can see now to the north. You can see the river coast. It seems to be a fattened bank of it, and because you can't even see from where you are, it looks almost like a lake, because it's hard to even see the end of the water from where you are off in the distance.
I'm gonna lean into Margot Gug and say, "You know where we are now."
He just points this way and says nothing. Nothing is worth one of his dooms currently.
Should we stick out to the edge of the water, or are we going to go inland?
I think it's worth. I think we should. Here's why I think we should stick next to the edge of the water.
Yeah.
It's likely
There
to have a
are
good source of
creepy
food
things
and
in
fresh
there.
water. There are, but they're in there. They're not usually the sort that are going to leap out and attack us.
Well, they might pull us in. But okay.
So stay out of. I mean,
They had a giant squid tentacle range. But what I was going to ask real quick is, did we get at this, like, did we see the path that we reached to the, I don't mean the length path, but I mean, did we, because I saw us teleport because I had something covering it. So did we come up from below, from across? Any idea? Like, how did we get to this spot? Did we just magically appear here because this is where because we already ran a while ago. Did we?
We came from the west. We came from that.
Yeah, we just went
That's
straight
all.
east.
Yeah, it was
We
covered up. These are my
Yeah.
screens. Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't teleport. It's just like that we didn't have visibility. As to
Well, I
where
know we
were.
didn't. That's what I meant. Is like, is this the first spot we saw, or did we see ourselves walking towards
As
it?
straight east.
You fled into the woods and found a little clearing and stayed there,
Right.
and then
That's what I thought. I thought we were somewhere else first.
And you did break the tree line, and you went into this area where there's these kind of like rocky, low hills and grassland, but otherwise sparsely vegetated area, and that's kind of where you are now. But with
Which
the
is
winds,
similar to what we were described the first time, except for the water part. We broke the tree line. We were in a clearing,
Yeah,
but
you all
we
did a
weren't anywhere
circle.
near water.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you're a little north. That's right. Okay, so
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to figure out where we might be in relation to where we were before.
A couple miles away. Murgle when you mention going to the river, he says, okay, that might actually be fine. He just simply reiterates what he said early on. He says, beasts in the river, but there are also beasts in the forest. All will make for a glorious death.
Okay, so
Maybe
he
we'll
says,
just keep the river in sight. Not get close to it though.
He says,
I think that's sensible.
when
There's
you
not
know,
gonna-
Magnus, if you relay this, he thanks. He says, hills, mountains overlooking pass, big pass that your people made across the river ages ago. It will be slower. Probably increase our time 2 days, 3, but they say that there is a great passage with much treasure and things that are undiscovered there as well.
he promises that. Now, when he says a pass, is he talking about a bridge?
You surmise, yeah. He's just saying that,
Okay.
that some
Okay.
great bridge was built here in the time
All
of
right.
Arthur.
He says there's an ancient bridge that leads across the river. He says. Now, he suggests it because it's safer,
Are
or
we
he's
talking
just
about
telling us.
crossing
Basically-
the river?
It'll take longer, but if you go that way, there's rumors that he knows of somewhere some undiscovered thing from the past.
He says if we go that way, there's rumor of a treasure.
That's
Sounds
along
like
the river to our north. If we follow the
if we go east and find the bridge and go north on the bridge, is that what he's saying?
No, yeah, they were talking about staying along the river instead of going straight there. He says
Well,
it'll
the river
take
has
longer.
the river has one advantage, which is that we can't really get lost, even if I roll a 1. But it does have the other advantage that if we need to desperately flee into one direction or another, it kind of cuts down our mobility.
Interestingly, just so I will mention the game mechanics. You can, in fact, get lost. This game is actually really brutal. It has entries for each type of terrain, and some of them are just like... And I intend to just roll. So if you get a 1, what I do is I come over here and I add these up, and I roll, and I use its mechanic. So you can just straight up get lost. Like, you know...
Is this the side of the river we need to be on? Could we ask him?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it sounds like he's suggesting a needless detour at the moment. It sounds like the place perhaps we can journey towards when we get back, or
Yeah, maybe we can mark that on the map and come back to it or something.
well,
Yeah, he says that basically if you stay along the river, it's going to add like three days or so.
no.
We don't want to do that.
Let's
Yeah,
go
let's not do that.
directly there as best we may.
Right.
What was I going to say? Everybody should have marked off 2 rations now for yourself, I believe, and any followers you have. Yeah, here we go.
Does that include the dog?
Yeah,
I would
you
certainly
need to feed the
assume so, yeah.
dog. Yeah.
Oh, I need to. Oh, okay.
Gotta feed the dog. All right, here we go. So you continue along. You come after days at this point actually able to travel a little bit faster. That doesn't quite relate where you are. You're more like here-ish, just on the near side of that hill, but I'm going to put you right here. That math will add up the next day. The winds help clear off some of the obscuration, and now your visibility is mostly back to normal.
Good.
You can see that the river bends to the north here, out of sight as you continue to the east. And then you see here, you can tell kind of a range of hills, almost mountains, reeks, rocky hills that form these ridge lines going off to the northeast. And to the southwest, you see a forest, and then this continues, this open, rocky, shallow hilled terrain continues on for miles around you. And night falls. What do you do, Dalton?
Hunker onto the north face of one of the ridge lines so that we're between two ridge lines. Then we can set up a fire without too much risk of being seen by anyone from the south or north. That should allow us to get a better rest than we have been.
At 2 rations per day, I only have 9 days left.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that soon.
It's not 2 per day. We slept twice.
Right.
Well, I mean, for the dog and me.
Oh yeah.
Here, Caden, take 4 right now.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
How many days do these orcs think it's going to be till we get there?
At this
They have a
point,
general idea. Are they still lost, or do they have are they kind of back on track a bit?
Magnus, when you ask him that, he knows where he's at. He points to the east. He says, at this point, if we don't have any more curses like we had, it'll probably be another 3 days
Nice.
march.
Okay.
It's got me feeling optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Dalton, roll a d6.
Oh boy, oh boy. 3.
All right, Dalton, once again. And you set up this campsite, and you see, although it's easy to see now, not in the mist, it's something you saw early on, the underbrush just like waving and branches being kicked up by what is clearly a large pack of these dog-sized rats in the night, hungrily charging towards you all about 150 yards in this direction.
All right. We're going to kill them. I would suggest that we kill them.
Meat's
Here's
on the
why.
menu.
Yeah, meat's on the menu.
Oh,
Listen,
they're diseased.
We don't have to eat it.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
It's for
I
the
will.
orcs.
Yeah,
I will also. I will probably,
I'll have some.
and the dogs.
And the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, so you wake everybody up to
Yeah,
fight.
this could hurt, but yeah, this could hurt, but I'm pretty sure this is a good investment.
I'll just allow you all to execute your ranged attacks. So anybody that has ranged attacks can all do them, and I'll do it for the I think you have 5 longbowmen. Is it 5? How many is it?
Can I use my sling?
Yeah. 4 longbowmen. So
Nope.
These are large rats, right?
yeah.
I'm using my sling.
What's the AC?
This is 1 round of arrows, so 2 each.
Yeah,
Right.
and 1 hit die. Actually, maybe they're not. Let me look.
I
It
don't
doesn't
think
really
I
matter
hit.
right now because we only get 1 attack. Oh,
Somebody was
Yeah,
asking.
melee.
Longbow gets 2, right?
no,
Yeah,
no,
that's
I meant
true.
1 attack, meaning fighters only get 1 attack right
Yeah.
now.
Someone was
Longbow,
asking
right.
that
But
because of
yeah,
magic.
the fighter thing doesn't apply.
I do 3 damage to 1, Ross.
I do
Okay.
4 damage to another.
I don't think an 8 hits, does it?
No, it does not hit.
Yeah, okay, I don't think so.
I hit 1 for 1.
I got a natural 20 for 4 damage.
One.
Yeah, we're not going to hit for 1 damage.
1. Okay. Okay. Is that it? Let me look at mine.
That's it.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, what about spells?
Well, they may be able to just kill them all, so maybe.
Okay.
And they do.
Nice.
So you guys are able to. I assume because you have like a tactic set up for this, you don't have to. You know, you've been through this a couple times where you cast light, or you throw a torch, or you know, you do whatever kind of where they pass a fire line, and then you just like unleash hell into this fire line, and it just mows them down. That was what you did last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think before that, then you did a spell, so you don't have to even use your spells for this for today.
Nice.
Father Bloombad has his spells for the day, and he is rested. For everyone else to rest, you will have to find a time and place to get very soon another 3 hours of sleep.
We just do that now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That will add 3 hours. So let's see. That brings you to the next time of the day.
Just travel every day. This happens, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And you said you wanted to try to cook or use the rats?
Yeah. I mean, I assume they're probably not in the best of shape. They probably got a lot of parasites or whatever. But that's why humans invented cooking, so we could eat things that we probably shouldn't eat raw. So, and I'm sure the orcs have way lower standards than the rest of us.
I'll do a rare. Actually, no. Yeah, this would be
Disease check.
a wisdom save to see if you notice something about the rats, and then I'll also check to see if they have it.
One of my great bad habits in role-playing games is I love to eat things I shouldn't. It's just my favorite bad idea.
Great.
You can roll wisdom, just don't.
So close, but no.
They seemed fine.
Yep.
Oh no.
I'm all for it then.
Fine.
They seem fine.
All
It's
right.
fine.
You cook these rats. Who do you give the rats to?
I'll cast purified food and water on them first.
Oh,
Bam.
right.
All right.
You have that?
You've got a
That is a
You
second
should if you
level.
want.
a living saint, a miracle. It just like purifies.
Yeah, I forgot that was a second level spell.
And
Yeah, I like my stuff hard.
Yeah, we cook it well. We make a stew.
That was about to kill somebody. So
Yeah.
Once again, thank you, Father Bloombad, for saving
Yes,
me
Father.
from my bad idea.
Amazing you took that.
Praise the light.
you now have 10 rations
Oh, nice.
Nice.
that
Totally
you
worth
can
it.
disperse. So you want to just like 2 rations each, and then 1 for Monacan?
Sure.
I don't know how that divides up.
Monacan's not touching that.
That's fine.
I will feed one to my dog.
There you go.
Yeah, let's see if the dog. Yeah, the dog. Rex will have it. No
Yeah,
problem.
Rex eats it. Yeah.
Sure, but I'll take one. So
All right.
Yeah, Jay, the second level spells are interesting that they get. That's why.
It's only a first level spell.
Oh, I thought it was a second level one.
Is it really?
First.
Cool. All right, Dalton, you see these hills to your left if you're facing east. You see the forest to your right and kind of behind you, and then you're leaving the riverfront behind. Where do you go?
Easterly.
Okay.
Got a little arrow that way.
You only make it about that far, and then you see something interesting. You see the vestiges, though it's clear to you, Dalton, of what was once a grand imperial road from a time when this was a settled and civilized place of Albion.
Is this the coast road?
There is some large, and Dalton would probably be able to know this, but there's the remnants that is now just like wild space and overgrowth in places, and remnants of cobblestone, but for you, Dalton, it's clear that this was once a grand road. It was well maintained, but has not been for a very long time.
Likely someone else in the party is more historically informed than Dalton. I'm looking at Magnus, and he can tell us the context of the Great Coast Road, because I sure can.
They didn't find out.
Remnant of the old empire.
All right.
Construction must be really good to last this long.
It's a curse
The
trade we've been
best the
hearing
world
about.
has
I
ever
think.
seen.
Amazing. There it is. For all this time.
Covered quite some distance if we made it to this.
Night falls as you make it to the edge of the road. And once again, Dalton, you can roll a d6. I assume you make camp.
Sure do.
Most tactically advantageous way you can.
4
Okay.
out of d6.
And essentially, you see the same thing as before. You see it 140 yards away, and in this direction, there are these things that seem to be swarming the undergrowth of this place. And there's just a whole bunch. There's a lot of them. There's a lot.
More
of
rats
them.
again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Magnus, do you got your what time of the night is this happening?
This is happening on the last watch. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'll just jostle Magnus awake and let him know that he's going to get a chance to shine and make sure everyone is ready to rock. Because we could use the rations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Point me in the direction.
Over there.
I didn't realize this would fix the ration issue, but with purified food and water, it really does.
Only edible thing in this
the
frickin'
food
forest.
just comes to you now. It's interesting.
So
Random
it's,
encounters.
That,
We're
that's,
not quite
that's
at.
true.
We're not quite at. God, I can't remember the name of the thing.
Honor party?
True. There's a specific OSR supplement about the Underdark.
Dwaro Deep.
No.
Veins of the Earth?
Veins of the Earth. Yes, we're not quite at Veins of the Earth level of hungry.
Yeah,
But,
no.
So
Let's not get there.
how many hit dice?
They are all one hit dice, and there are, one hit dice.
12 of them go down.
You get 12 rations, assuming Father Bloombad casts his spell again, and you take the time.
I get my fresh spells, right?
It's been a day.
Yes. Yeah, it's the last watch of the night.
So I'll get that one back and I'll use it.
There you go. So now you have 12 rations. Can somebody kind of be a treasure keeper for the group? Is there somebody doing that?
I'll do the rations.
Okay,
Thank
Father
you
We
very
just-
much, Alaric.
Let's
I give one to the dog again.
And thank
Let
you
me know
very
if you're
much,
taking
Magnus.
from the ration pile because I'm tracking the collected rations.
Alrighty.
Magnus,
give one
Don't
from
worry
the
about
dog.
me.
Magnus waves his hand in your direction sleepily and stumbles back into his tent. Yes, least I could do and all that.
Now, do you once again go back to sleep and take camp and for another 3 hours? Okay. All right. In
You know
that
what?
case,
How about we get off the road a little bit?
all right.
Let's not camp on the side of the road.
Interesting.
like-
Okay. I know what you're saying. If in proposing that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Jay, if you're proposing that, where would you suggest? If you
So
got-
Dalton, I don't know. Like, I guess, what if we are just back from the road, watching over it, but not right on the edge, like back where we came?
I think I can find a good spot for that. Do you want to do that like right now or for next time we camp?
Well, we're stopped right now. It seems like we're right on the edge of the road right now, right?
Close to it.
It's
Yeah.
like end of the night, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the middle of the night, right?
Well, we're just wrapping up the night because it was the last watch. So
right.
morning's about to rise.
Right. But we're
Well-
gonna sleep in a little bit, right? So we're gonna
Like 3 hours.
spend a bit of the morning. Okay, let's put a few more guards watch up then. Like, I'd like to suggest we put a bit more of a watch up, and maybe even up and down the road a ways. Because if there's anything trotting along this road, like,
What's
we're
our
right on the
visibility?
cliff right now in the daytime, right?
Visibility is about 6 miles, so you can, and the sun will rise during your rest. You have.
Flanagan's-
Oh, go ahead.
Like, if we're gonna sleep in, I mean, we got to either let's do without rest and spend the day a bit tired, or set up some watch further up and down the road or something. But it seems like a bad place to wake up and spend another 3 hours.
Yeah, but we can see 6 miles. I think.
Well, we spent all night here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but night's different. I don't know what.
It's a lot of us. I mean,
let's vote Alaric and Magnus. Leave the road or stay near the road?
No, stay on the road.
Stay on the road.
Okay. Magnus is already asleep again.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll stay on the road.
We'll get off the road for next night, but I don't think it's worth repositioning just for the next 3 hours.
Right. Dalton, roll a d6.
3.
Ah!
Cool. You see, as your rest is beginning to end and people are beginning to wake up, you see people on horseback.
Holy shit.
Far off in the distance.
From the north or south?
From the south. But
is that the direction we're headed?
No.
No, we're going east.
They it's clear that they see you. They turn around and they gallop off on the road to the south. There's absolutely no way you can catch up to them.
Huh.
Even though we have horses?
And I did not make that up. I rolled that.
They took one look at us and they decided they didn't want anything to do with us.
We're a small army. We're a small army.
And we've got orcs, which are not normally associated with, civilized behavior. Please don't tell them I said that.
Because I didn't just say that because of what Jay said. Like that happened in the system.
It's nice when things line up like that.
Right, I know.
I'll tell you all what I say. I mean, but I get it.
That was great. They left.
They left, but I mean, why'd they leave? Who are they going to talk to? I mean, we should get out of here.
We're not going to be here when they come back.
No, you're right. Let's get out of here.
All right, here we go.
You were not wrong, Flanagan.
I don't need to be right. I don't just saying that.
You approach the legendary foothills of Rappan Athuk.
Oh my God!
And
really?
You see a forest, and you can feel the sea air get stronger beyond these mountains and hills that kind of overlook the coast here. And as you approach this hill, you make it about this far. It's miles off the road now, but it's on the near side of these mountains, kind of small, short mountains. Murgulgug points and he says, dang it. Let me see. He points this way. He says, there. Daarog's lair.
How many of your own people are left?
Lost like 4 or something in that last combat.
No. I'm asking him about who's there. If there's anybody, like, how many of your tribe? How many of your
followers?
Yeah, he looks around and asks that, and even Father Bloombad, is kind of counting, and then you notice them struggling to. Some of them are struggling to try to count, like, because losing 3 warriors is insignificant, and it's obvious that, like, you are with. As far as he knows, the only loyal orcs left. Like, they were kind
every
of,
other orc we can kill.
Yeah.
We can't assault them yet because he said they had snakes, and I need to take snake charm if we're going in there.
I think if we found where we're going, we should risk being out somewhere and prepare our action spells for what we know.
I would agree. However, I would warn we should not sleep in the hills of Rappan Athuk.
Yeah.
If we're gonna sneak in, should I cast silence on something, or with 15-foot radius?
I think I like the idea of a silencing, but there's a trick to that because silence also gives us away to some extent. But it's a great thing to use if we see like a caster or one of their like witch doctors or something like that.
There's too many of us to fit in a 15-foot radius with all the mercenaries and orcs and everything.
Well, yeah, and so it'd be nice to consider that as a little projectile thing you can do.
Take
on
him on a rock
later.
or something.
put it on a rock and throw it. But the thing is, you can't carry the rock around without not being able to talk and not being able to communicate and things like that. So I'm just saying, think about that for later.
It's like you cast it on an arrow and then shoot that near the spellcaster.
Yeah, something like that, but later.
Magnus, you want to ask your these orcs or what the best time would be to come into this place? Like, when do these fellas sleep? In the daytime or the night, or
Sleep during the day, yes.
No. These hideous men, they come from the earth, from underneath the earth, like a festering disease. They have armor. They're born with armor and weapons. They have they're not like us. They sleep at night, like you weak, hasty things.
These dwarves?
Yes, indeed. So we attacked them at night then. Is that best?
Are they dwarves?
No. I think he's speaking of the Chaos Warriors, the more militarized
You're
ones.
forward with weapons?
Apparently.
So attacking at night is best, he says.
Just want to make sure this could be an alignment trap.
yeah, we go and it's like go.
How tall are these things that are born in armor?
They do. They describe. Well, hold on just a second. What? Hold on just a second here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. They describe basically the Chaos Men. If they're
Okay.
yeah.
I thought we were about to attack a dwarf
Right.
Maybe we should
mercenary outpost.
camp out if it's like we haven't spent the whole day and camp early somewhere really hidden, and then we get up at 3 a.m. and attack them before sunrise. Throw light in there and freak them out, blind them, and all the rest of it.
A sound plan.
Is there anything I can do to like improve the odds of our random encounter checks? Like spend effort finding like a especially well hidden place to hunker down and what kill time?
Well, what do you do?
Well, what I'm thinking is like
you can always like if you have ideas, yeah.
all right,
Yes, the answer is
fair.
always yes. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thought. If we find an appropriate, like, secluded part of the forest just east of the road, I bet there is going to be an area that is sufficiently, like, lower than its surroundings that will have very little... There will be very few places that can see it from where, like, there will be very few places that will have line of sight to it.
Okay.
I want to find a place like that and set up, like, a hide using, like, tree brush and whatever, so that if they do see it, they mostly just see, they just see tree brush and felled trees and so forth, as opposed to sign of like a campsite. I don't know if that's plausible, but I know we've got a lot of manpower and a lot of...
are you suggesting, and it's about 60, well, it'd be 51 degrees at night, okay, so there's not some kind of penalty to this, but are you suggesting no campfires and no fires? And using the orcs' night sight to try to, because like it wouldn't do any good to set up concealment, like the camouflage,
and then start a fire,
and then start a big campfire in the middle of it, or multiple.
I agree.
Yeah. What time is it right now? Like my understanding is that we are trying to line up our schedules so that we will be rested and alert at night when we attack this camp.
Yeah, I'll say it's like 7 p.m. and it's getting dark.
Well, how many hours walk is it from where we are?
That's an important question.
It's a that actually is a good point. You were still a part of a day's travel. So an interesting thing, that's a good point. Is like if you travel during the day, you'll still arrive there about 5 p.m. tomorrow after you wake up.
So no, we need to like
closer.
we need to get closer. Yeah.
You know what else? I almost wonder, this might be risky. I don't know if Dalton can pull this off, or Dalton and Mannequin, but like recon would be really great. Like, as opposed to like we're camping
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, it's just
Yes.
over there. And then we're all getting up at 3 a.m. and like, okay, where is it? And then we see something dimly in the woods and then we just
They
go
take-
for it. Like, I think
you're
I'll-
right.
They should all. I'll go with them. And Murglegug.
Okay. Are you
Uh-huh.
sure you can make
Okay.
sure that? My concern is that Murglegug may succumb to the desire for a immediate confrontation.
That's
You should go
that's,
with him.
that's why I'm going with them.
Oh, right.
You should go also. You're the ranger.
Obviously.
That's what we say. So Dalton, Menachin, Murglegug. I don't know.
The
If you
esteemed
don't-
Magnus Maximus.
Or maybe
I would
just
say-
maybe just all the heroes.
I
Leave
would
the
say
mercenaries.
if it's not stealth that you're using, just normal stealth, then I would volunteer just in case we get jumped, so we have extra.
Yeah, I suddenly realized why not just all the heroes go on a scouting mission.
Yeah, either it's just either just thieves and Dalton, or else we might as well just go with 6 of us or whatever, like a little.
Some of you should
Yeah.
probably stick with the mercenaries, though.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and have all the orcs and mercenaries killing each other if we leave, maybe.
Yeah.
Flanagan will stay then. Flanagan
Yeah.
will
Well,
stay back.
no. Okay,
I think
it's
the unit
a-
should
is it-
stay, actually.
is it
Job in
night?
the front.
Is it nightfall now?
It's about to be.
Yeah,
nightfall.
it's
The
about
sun is
it's
setting,
about
yeah.
7.
Okay, so then I'm gonna ask Murglegug if there's any good. Is there a better spot to strike from? Is there a better place that we can strike from closer? We won't have to walk all day to get there.
The
In other
orcs,
words,
the orcs don't have horses. Let me think.
So where we are right now, we still have to get, like, if we get up the next day, it won't be till 5 the next day that we're close to the orc camp. So it almost seems like we should just camp normally, and then the next day get closer, and then recon.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Murglegug suggests that the best chance to overwhelm them, they're going to have it very well defended, and they're going to something about these people is that they do not just glory in battle alone. They like to use trickery and deceit, and as he describes it, what you're hearing is actually just tactics and good reason. So he suggests there's a main road, like a main pass that leads into what was once a human village, and it has kind of a main keep to it, and the keep is the way into the lair. And they will have that very well defended, but they'll also have the road defended with like arrows and traps and stuff. But at the same time, the best way to attack would be able to strike fast from the road. So the best way, he thinks, would be for them to try to get in at night among the trees without getting detected and slit the throats. And he smiles as he says it. He kind of trails off thinking about getting to kill these people. But the people overlooking the road, if you could take them out, then you could use your shock force of people on horseback to get in among the enemy fast, which would deny them their advantage of arrows and things like that.
Ooh.
This is all good advice.
well, Murglegug's starting to sound rather trickerous himself, but I won't say that to him.
All right. Sounds like we brought up-
I thank him for his excellent idea.
So I guess we're camping here, and then the next day we'll travel closer, and then we can decide. I mean, anything could happen between now and then, anyways. But decide then if we want to recon or just like go slit throats and charge in. I suppose, right? But that's
Well,
a
if
day-
we're gonna do that, it'll be happening the next night.
yeah. So let's just see if
So
we get.
yeah, let's
place.
do that.
Yeah. Does that sound okay to you, caller?
Yes, I think that's a great plan.
So I'm hearing get closer, camp as usual, and then decide if you're going to do a recon. early
Yeah.
in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, first of all, this was actually nighttime when you were talking about it back here. And
That's the
so,
bridge.
Oh, sorry. Right here. And it's nighttime when you all were talking about this, and then something happens at night. This happens in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, the ground shakes around you, and you hear the night air pierced with something. It's something like blasts overhead. Yeah, the campsite tents and things are knocked over.
That thing again.
And Dalton, I have a question. Honestly, did you do all that camouflage stuff and not have campfires and stuff?
Yeah.
He said in
because
between.
Yeah, look.
Okay. So
I know that these hills are the most dangerous place around for miles.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to give you then. This is where you heard it and felt it go.
Okay. That's not where we're going, is it? Our place is more straight east, right?
If you ask Murgle, he says you're going this way.
Okay.
Good.
Oh,
okay.
Is this like a huge beast that flew overhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same thing.
You've seen that before, right? I remember
Yeah.
you mentioning it. So I think this is the first time I've seen it.
The third time we've seen him.
Yeah.
It. I don't know if it's him or her.
All right. The sun rises the next day, and you make it into the forests near the hills. You can see nearby there's the river and this grand, massive bridge. It fills you with a vague feeling when you look at it, a sense of maybe pride that what your people could be capable of. But then also the fact that nothing like this is built now, and that this whole place is just a den of horrors and monsters and people being murdered now.
The light shall reclaim it.
Yeah.
Caden, do you want to confer on spells fast?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to go. I'm gonna take a snake charm for sure, and one hold person.
I was gonna do find traps.
Yeah, cool. That's what I was gonna
and
suggest.
silence.
I'm gonna take 2 cure light wounds and a light.
Yeah, I always take a light. 2 cure light wounds.
We're good.
All right.
I think that's a good idea with the silencer because, again, most of these creatures have some kind of witch doctor or something among them. And we
I'm concerned about traps as well.
Yeah.
So the time comes, if you're going to do a reconnaissance, I will say that you will incur the penalties of a lost night of sleep after the battle. I think that actually makes sense. You moved, you get some rest, you get up, you've kind of biphased your sleep, and you're not going to have penalties during the battle. But
after the battle, we should be inside a keep.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Unless we're running for our lives.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good risk to take.
Yeah, true.
And I'm talking about the recon team, right? Because you're going to have to leave earlier in order to do a recon. So, okay. Is that something you still want to do?
When you said after the battle, you mean after? It's not right after the recon. It's after the
battle. After this.
Got it. Yeah. And I think we basically have us all the heroes go. We need one person probably. Well, we don't need, but we probably want one person to keep them in line. It could be Menachem, maybe, if not one of us. But who would we want? Well, Menachem would be good to sneak around too. So do we want to leave somebody to protect the situation with the mercenaries and the?
Why not?
Stay.
Why not just let the orcs? I'm going to ask Murgle Gug in confidence. can his men restrain themselves on such a mission? Can they move quietly? Can they kill in the dark without being heard?
He says, no, absolutely not. We're not cowards. We're children.
Okay, but you were looking forward to slitting throats, so I just making sure.
He assures you that he will.
But you're going to do so with maximum noise.
Yes. He looks at you like aghast. Like, what's wrong with you?
I love these
Okay,
people.
Murgle Gug.
These delightful idiots.
Will this plan then not backfire and draw the entire force out upon us?
If an orc could sigh, he does, and he says, he's like, we're going to kill them.
Might as well get them all together.
I unleash my people first to have vengeance on those who skulk in the wilderness, and will tear them down from their trees. And then as soon as you know, then at that time, then you can charge up the road using your little pets that you ride on. Like,
yes. So you're saying they have a force in the trees?
Yes, we will take care of them and clear that so that then you can attack.
You're confident in your ability to do this. You're not just going to get shot to the ground as you try to climb.
It will be a good death either way.
Yeah, see that you can count on
These
them
guys are
being,
amazing.
Yeah.
being, you know.
I don't know how far these forest folk are from the forest guards are from the town. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll ask that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How close are they to the actual walls of this place?
They will have to be within sight.
So.
Why don't we just take the heroes that...
Okay. Well, no, it's honestly probably the best plan, because that's 9 bodies. I mean, look, the group of us together, do we really have a chance of not alerting them to our presence?
This
any
does
better than
create an
yours?
interesting problem, is that you cannot see at night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
So
not going to be good scouts.
so then
Stays
that
in the
means
moon.
the attack has to happen right before dawn.
Yeah.
Well, if I go with them, I can cast light on the...
Yeah.
Okay, well then
But
forget
then they'll
about
see you.
Well,
hours.
after the battle, after the death.
Like if we had a lot of light spells, we could. I mean, like here, so there's a forest, and we wait outside. We're on the road, and then like when we hear them all in the trees, we have to have a light for ourselves, and then we're gonna like maybe arrows with light on it or something. Shoot arrows with light on them into the fortress, like flares, basically. So we're all under the same lighting conditions. But we don't even know if they have like a gate. Like we might run up and it's like, oh, there's a gate.
We ask them. These are all things. You know, what's the conditions? Is there a gate?
Yeah.
Where's the escape gate?
He says there's a gate, but it has portions of the walls have fallen on the north side. You'll have to likely dismount when you get there and continue on foot.
When
Clear
you're,
them out like rats.
I see. So there is a section that we'll be able to sweep through with horses, though.
Doesn't sound like it.
Front gate.
Oh, he said that
We're going to
they-
take the horn of
Well, if
blast
we go
and blow
through
the
and
front
somebody
gate down.
opens the gate,
What
we
is
can
this
get behind the
horn?
wall.
What horn do you mean?
Oh.
Actually, he doesn't understand. He wouldn't know that.
We have a horn that will blow the front gate asunder.
Oh.
Yeah. He's merely referring to our ability to blow the gate in like so many twigs.
He
really-
he starts to
you
begin to
you-
roar into the night, and then he looks at Magnus, and Magnus, you give him the eye. Like,
Yeah, no, I raise an eyebrow.
he's able to just control it. You see the veins popping out on his neck. He loves it. He thinks this is glorious. A horn
So-
that shall blow and shatter the gates of his enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I say forget this late night scouting thing then, and let's just move in as a whole group.
Yeah.
Right before dawn. The orcs can go in and kill the scouts in the trees, first, and then somebody can blow a whistle or something as the signal. Now I ask, when your attack is known, where will the force come out to meet you? Will they have to come out the gate, or will they come through some other way?
I'm out of character. I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Okay, so when the orcs attack the people that are in the trees,
Yeah.
I assume it's going to set off an alarm or alert somebody, or somebody's going to get a call off. Where are the troops going to respond from when that happens?
He thinks that this is an example where they are likely cowards, and they will hunker down in their fortress like weaklings awaiting death, because they will not dare to come out into the dark forest and face their justice.
I see. So we have to go in after them then.
Magnus, can I ask you to...
Are we gonna get shot full of arrows when we go through the gate?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's the surprise
What if we
part.
don't go through the gate? What if we
But-
blast through a wall?
Here's
Go ahead, Dan.
the question I have for Magnus is twofold. Can you find out if they know of any escape routes? Because all chickens have escape routes. Secondly, it is going to be, once we make it to this gate, I'm not clear on this tree to gate distance that we're supposed to charge through. Once we make it to the gate, are we not going to be entering a village, eventually a cave system or something? Because that's where these creatures type live. In which case, we don't want to bring the horses into a thing where we're just going to be leaving them loose.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the horse charge is for here. Because if they're not guarding it outside the gates, which I don't think they are, the horse charge is pointless. We need to just get there.
I thought he said
Yeah.
I was operating from the idea that it was a keep with walls, and there's a part of the wall that's down, but maybe that's not right.
But even if it's a keep with walls, how many keeps can you assault on horseback and charge around inside the keep?
Well,
Can
are we
we,
gonna leave our
Can we
horses?
get one thing? Can we have him give him a stick and have him draw in the sand a map
that was
of,
about to
Father,
ask.
you are the man.
before we
Maps.
start making the plans?
Let's try and make some visualizations of this. Although I get the impression, I gotta be honest, I'm also just curious to see how their weird memory affects their rendition of whatever this is.
I'm sure that, well, it used to be their home before
Yeah.
before
They
these
lived
new
there.
guys came in. So
Yeah, but who knows? Like I love the way that they conflate people. They don't grasp the distinction between individuals very well. This is fascinating. I want to see more of these weirdos. Show us the map.
Okay, you're asking for them to draw. Okay, so I'll create a plot of Earth here.
The village, the road, the village, and the the keep.
Walls and like
Weak
where they-
spots, doors, all that stuff. Towers.
So I'm gonna see if a fight breaks out, because this will cause one. No, it does not.
Yeah.
They start to. Some people want to draw, but they start drawing obscene things and things about it, and then like it really comes down to Margulgug, who, like, you can hear the bone snap on one of the cheeks of one of them to discipline them, and they're cowed by Margulgug, and so he draws basically like there's this large wall that is the remains of what used to protect this human town. The human town is just ruins. They use this wall at the front of the town as their keep. And so there's a road that leads to it, and there's a forest around it, leading into it. He thinks that they will have set up an ambush in the forest, and with glee he says that's what my people will take care of. He suggests that they will in response to that, as soon as the fighting starts in the forest, that will make it harder for them to try to fire arrows from the forest, and they're just going to hunker down on these walls. And if you can charge fast enough, you can get to the walls and keep from enduring the rain of arrows.
So we attack at the same time, basically. So we start the charge right as they start killing the
right after. So it has two phases. You let them start distracting the people in the trees, and then you attack on horseback. Now you also have out of character. Okay, this is not him talking. You also have a force of 13 mercenaries on top of that do not have horses. So all of you have horses and 4 mercenaries, and Monacan, and also you can keep your dogs. But you have the Horn of Blasting, which acts as a catapult, and it will also deafen. You observed this the last time you used it. It will deafen every enemy that you hit with it, and cause 2d6 damage to every enemy in the area. So it's like this siege weapon that goes down on a thing. What do you do with the mercenaries though? That's my question.
Are they gonna come behind us, or?
Well, wouldn't we be able to do our charge, and once we've gained the walls or passed through the walls, at that point it would be their time to charge forward, because any enemies that are still left alive are concentrating on us, most likely.
Yeah, and the mercenaries come in. How many of them are longbowmen?
Yeah, you also have on top of all that 4 longbowmen as well.
So the longbowmen.
I've got this rope ladder, so if we can get on top of the wall, we can get them up on it.
We don't have to. We're gonna blow the front gate, right? And then we're gonna ride.
No, what Heretic is saying is you can destroy the wall entirely. You have this thing that will make it just destroy and shatter.
If we hit right here, on the map, if we hit right here, we can destroy the wall and the gate at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? And then we ride through, because we have to just destroy the gate and not we can't ride through the wall because our horses will have all kind of rubble, right? So we have to destroy the gate. So we ride through there so we can go around the rubble that's collected. They'll be deaf, so they'll be worried about us in here, and they won't be able to see our ground forces moving forward.
Right. And eventually our ground forces can handle, a contingent of them can handle, once we've mopped up the surface layer, assuming these guys are having underground. This is a village. Chances are they're not living in a village. They can guard, the surface level on our retreat as well as our horses. Yeah. Otherwise, if they're in the village, then they just break out and support us while we use our horses and foot soldiers to attack around the village.
Yeah.
We still have to get into the cave, so.
Yeah, and we might want to cast time.
Are there caves? He said.
Probably, but we don't know.
Well, this might be easier to, now that I've drawn this scribble stuff, maybe it'll make more sense, but he mentioned this. This wall is not a wall protecting something, it is their fortress.
It's the thing.
Okay.
If it's an old school big medieval wall, that means it's got rooms and stuff inside of it.
And he also notes, because this is the leader of the orcs that you have with you, that the one entrance into kind of this underground, the subterranean area that is that is hold on just a second. There we go. Daarog's lair is right here. It's on the wall. It's on the south wall.
Oh,
okay. And it's a hatch, and there's one way in. And yeah.
So we want to destroy this portion of the wall so we don't block the hatch, so we can't, so we can get the treasure.
That's a good point.
We might want to cast fine traps when we're here, so we don't run our horses into pitfalls.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So can I try to?
Oh, sorry.
And Dalton, we can just sort of. So it sounds like we're gonna stand off outside of the forest with everybody on horses and the mounted and the foot soldiers behind us, and let the orcs go forward, and wait till we hear them attacking in the forest, and that's our marker to go. And then, Caden finds traps. I think we should probably also have light cast on a number of arrows or something. And
we only have one. Remember, light is a spell that affects one thing.
I thought it was going to be daytime.
So we have light cast on a bunch of arrow, several.
Yeah, we can do that.
You can't do that, is what I'm trying to tell you. We can cast, if they have light, we can cast it on one object.
Yes. Dan, listen to me. Cast several light spells on several arrows.
They didn't memorize that. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
We already heard what spells they memorized. They don't have several light spells. We have to wait another day.
Don't we have 2?
No.
Yeah,
They want healing. Healing is that on that
We have
level.
I have one light spell.
They each have 1 light spell and 2 cure spell.
I think we should save that for when we get into the hatch.
Yeah.
Pause a moment. What is the importance of the light spells on the
We
arrow?
can see.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we're doing this at
We're
sunrise.
making a pre-dawn attack, right? I mean, it's gonna
Yes.
be like dawn's gonna be cracking. We're gonna have light.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
okay,
much,
so
but
we're gonna
enough.
just right at dawn then? We're gonna do it like when okay.
At like
This-
first pre-light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then,
Okay, so we
like
do
worst
that.
case scenario, he can cast sleep up here, and so like say, boom, we kill these guys because we crush the wall and they fall down, and he could cast sleep up here. So we're gonna
Right.
dismantle most of the archers. We're gonna
Yeah,
take
okay,
some damage going in, but we're gonna be all right.
So so we wait till the orcs go. You're gonna cast find traps. We're gonna run right through the road through the forest, and hope that they're occupied by the orcs. The guys behind us are running. They're jogging as fast as they can behind us, and we ride up. We're gonna blow the horn of blasting on the northern wall,
Yes.
and then I think it's just gonna be a melee, and we're probably just gonna be fighting and waiting until our foot soldiers catch up and
Yeah.
doing what we can, I guess.
Let's
They're gonna be
do it.
looking at us because they can't hear, so they won't see the foot soldiers coming up
Well, that's
behind
why I
them.
was going to point out the foot soldiers go once we've broken through, because otherwise then he can pick off the
Yeah,
foot
let's
soldiers.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on my collar hat. Flanagan, your understanding of the plan is correct. It's to the best of my understanding. Does anyone else have any confusion?
One other thing, we actually have extra horses that we brought for remounts and stuff like that. Do we wish to make I know they don't fight on horseback, but do we wish to mount some of the leftover mercenaries so they get there quicker, or do we want to leave a mercenary behind with the extra horses?
I would
Oh.
say put the longbowmen on them horsemen.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody bring them all. Yeah.
Would be the best.
Yeah.
Because then we could
Bring
So
it
also-
back
that is
again.
2 horses for me,
and I have an
and
extra
I think Caden had 2 horses, right?
one. And I have an extra one.
I have
So
a
that's-
war horse and 2 horses.
Yes, so that's 5 extra horses so far. Anybody else?
I got nothing. I got the
Okay,
one horse.
so 5 horses, so we can bring the 4 longbowmen if you want to do longbow, and 1 other mercenary.
All right. We'll take 4 longbowmen and the halberdiers.
Okay.
I don't think we need to wait, Dan, for the footmen to hang back. It
Okay.
seems to me we're gonna be up there in like a couple rounds.
Yeah, as long as we can take out the archers on the top, then they're safe. If we don't take out the archers on the top, then they're, sitting targets.
We're doing
Let's
shock
do
and
it.
awe.
We will.
They're going to be looking at us, not the footmen.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
be right in front of them, doing what we can. I think.
Just shock and
Casting
awe.
spells and all the rest of it.
All right.
By the way, I'm bringing 3 sleeps and 2 webs.
Nice.
Wow.
No,
Keep a
one
low
web.
profile.
One web.
Nice.
One web. I don't have 2 webs. I have 1 web.
Okay.
I'm not
Keep a low
level
profile
4.
as long as you can, because
Oh.
once they recognize that you start throwing sleep spells, make sure you have a guy to hide behind.
You know what?
I have everybody to hide behind.
I'm gonna be shielding Magnus. I'm just gonna stand in front of Magnus and take arrows.
I think
You
that's
know?
a good plan.
Yeah.
Until we take out the arrows on the wall, then
Yeah.
someone who is just dedicated to bodyguarding the wizard is a good plan.
Yeah.
And I think you're the best at that. So there you go.
All right. You all discuss all this in the darkness, the night before, and there were remains of what was once a road leading into the civilized town of Albion on a coast. Your horse's feet clop on in the dark along what remains of portions of cobblestone and otherwise muddy dirt. And in the clear skies, with the winds having come, it is a starry night, starry morning, and in fact, so much celestial light that it's almost as if your way is guided to this place. And you begin to see the outlines of dark buildings breaking up the horizon from what was a town here in the mountains. And Margulgug looks back, raises up his muscular arms, and turns to Magnus, who's clearly in charge of these pathetic rats that he commands, like a mighty despot of war. He looks back to Magnus like, can I unleash my people?
Awesome.
Yes. The time of blood has arrived. Enjoy.
He roars into the starry night sky, and the air around you is pierced with this. And they run screaming into the forest. And in short order, you begin to just hear, beyond screams, chaos. What is it?
This is intense. I don't know, maybe Magnus and Bloombad, you've had this happen before, but I haven't experienced yet this in this game. It's kind of like awesome assault.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Get rid of this.
You guys
That's
did
exciting.
something, right?
We had a siege. We had some siege warfare in the OSC game we've been playing recently, but we did have a large-scale battle, I guess, with all those spiders at one time. I don't think I've done an assault.
Oh god, the spiders. Oh, glad I missed that one.
That was the fattest
Yeah, it's huge.
the fattest pile of experience I think I've got in any D&D game in my life.
It was like 3,500 or something, right?
Now,
maybe that will be supplanted today.
Ooh, I love it.
currently,
Awesome.
this is abstracted, okay, but I have your tokens when I need them.
Oh, shit.
And
I love I love your maps and stuff, by the way, Ross.
Oh,
I love
thanks.
Oh,
it.
nice.
I don't
actually,
know where
I
you get this
I love
artwork. Like, it is beautiful.
Oh, this one's really impressive.
think we already want everybody, so I'm just gonna put everybody here now.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
It's some.
Yeah, that northern wall right there is pretty good for a horn of blasting, hey? Like, look at the cone of. There's a dense.
If I don't have this like perfectly, whose token, etc., don't worry, we'll
Yeah.
get it.
I trust you.
But the first thing that we have to do is it is going to be possible for them to, from a distance, be able to. Well, no. Well, yes, but at a -4, you have to roll for initiative.
And we
And
get any of them on a surprise because that was our big.
that's a
Like,
good
we're
point.
hoping that they were
That's a
still
good
all
point.
sleeping.
They are not
Go ahead.
surprised, and of course you're not surprised. Okay, you got a 3. I will roll to see if I beat a 3. I did beat a 3. Okay.
Oh,
They are
that's
able,
knowing you.
exactly. They are able to fire. Let's see. But it's at -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
As much as possible, I'm trying to be in front of. This might not be the case right now because they're above us, but I'm trying to be in front of Magnus on my horse, even holding my shield up or whatever I
good
can
point.
do.
Yeah,
Shouting.
I would do that too. Field the second
I'm declaring sleep, by the way.
Who's got the horn of blasting?
I think I do.
Okay, so cool.
You want somebody with hit points like him to be Horn of Blaster.
I've got a lot of them.
I think
I know,
only,
you don't want the weak guy who falls in the dust with the horn.
Do any of the tough people in armor have what's the lowest AC? Does somebody have
That's terrible.
a 14? Somebody got a 14 or a 13 or something like that?
I think I have.
I have an 18.
I have a 15.
15,
I always
18,
lose my streak.
Mine's 16.
16.
I have a 16.
16. Magnus is protected. Monacan? What's Monacan's?
Monakins is 13.
13. Oh, that's bad. Okay, that might actually hit. Okay, and then Dalton. What's yours?
15.
15.
And then the
okay.
dogs, I don't know.
I
I'd
think
have a
it's
17
12.
if I didn't have a minuses.
So it's possible the dogs could get hit. 12, yeah. So let me look at the math and kind of go by what it would go here. Let's see.
Richard, how many hit points do you have?
26.
How about you, Dan?
29.
Oh my god, wow.
Who said they had 13? Sorry. Flanagan,
That's
right?
Monacan.
No.
Monakin.
Somebody had 14 or 13.
But I'm a level higher than him.
Flanagan, what's your hit points? Or your armor class?
16.
16. Somebody had 13 or 14.
Monocton?
Okay, it was
That
just
was Monocton.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see. Just scanning really quick.
Yeah, I have 23 hit points, but I have Constitution 6, so.
Yeah, I have a +1. I just didn't roll as great.
Father Bloombed, you will get hit by a nat 20. Is a longbow a D6 or a D8? I can't remember.
D6.
D6.
D6. Okay. You take 5 points of damage.
All right.
And Flanagan, you get hit by a nat 20.
Aye.
You take
Wow.
6 points of damage.
Ooh. Okay.
And they have. I'm actually going to say, since it's a battle, that their last salvo will go at the end of the round. Because if they. Because of a couple other things that are going to happen right now. Okay. So you all start charging up this road. The orcs do their duty, and they clear the path for you. And your soldiers are running in behind you with their halberds in the dark. In the rising sun. The sun rises behind them, by the way, so you're charging into the sun, and which is not ideal.
Ooh.
And you
None of
see
our weapons are precision.
arrows
Not a
just
problem.
fill the sky, but you hold up your shields on horseback, and probably maybe even your horse gets hit. Flanagan and Father Bloombad, but you're able to make it up to the wall. And now we'll go into the combat.
Okay.
Still any traps?
We're on a blasting first.
Last time, yeah.
It seems like any traps have been dealt with by the orcs.
Okay,
you
good.
You don't detect any yet, at least not any nearby.
Keep an eye on the time on that. Maybe we can detect something later.
I got 20 minutes.
I assume
Yeah.
you move up to the wall, and then the next thing is if anybody's firing a missile, which would be the Horn of Blasting, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that then.
Okay, so let's see. I read it, and I don't think they get a save. I think it acts as a catapult, and it damages structures, and anything on it takes 2d6 damage. So, roll 2d6 damage.
Can you show us the gate? Like, can you draw the gate in just so we know exactly?
Yeah, and the gate's actually been barred up. Like, they're not using it as a gate. This gate is used as a fortress.
We roll a 6 and
9.
a 3, total of 9.
All right. Well, you kill every single that. So this whole section just explodes. This whole thing. Yeah. All right. I don't have.
Good gravy.
Give me. I have right here this huge amount of stone and earth just flies into the air, just everywhere all around you. And these things are tossed into the air hopelessly with huge slabs of stone. As half their number is just instantly destroyed with this whole thing. Now, this whole structure is gone.
North side, right?
Yeah, the north side. Okay. And any other missile fire?
Anakin. So we're doing ours are top and bottom of the round as well.
Top and I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
Oh, we can't. Is this a new combat round?
No, this is the first one. So this is your all's missile fire and movement.
Okay. Well, if we moved, we can't shoot. So.
We're on
That's
horseback.
true. Yeah, you're on horseback. I'm sorry. I'll say
Okay.
that you can use the horn. It makes sense to me. It would be very
Or
uncool
long
if you-
of it.
it would be very stupid if you couldn't use the horn on horseback. That would just be lame.
Yeah, I think the horn's like a magic item. That's not like really missile, but
It probably
arrows
takes
we
me
have to be trained.
It takes me out of like the rest of the turn, I'd say. Like
All right.
it consumes all my focus to be doing this on horseback.
We are to the spells, and I will say that the spells will go first, and then any remaining arrow fire.
Okay, what?
Longamen get together, right?
What's the hit dice?
Wait, what
Yeah,
did you say?
our longbowmen haven't fired. Yeah.
But they're on horse, we just said, so they can't.
Yeah, they can fire.
Yeah.
They can fire from horse. They're horse archers on longbows.
I don't.
I don't think
They
longbows are horse.
they might take a penalty, but they can still fire.
A long? Okay,
No.
I never heard of a longbow on a horse.
Really?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's extremely difficult to do horse archery without specialized practice.
They're like 5 feet long. Those bows.
I'm going to say that
Okay, but there'd
I'm
be
going to
such a
say
penalty.
I'm going to say they can't, and I can tell you why later. But it has
How
more to
about
do
a
with the
sling?
game than it does real world stuff.
All right.
Gotcha.
So what are the hit dice then?
They have one hit die +1.
+1. Okay, hold on. Okay. 2d6.
Oh no.
Not great.
Okay. Some of them go to sleep. Let's see, 4 of them. As you charge in, you see Magnus cast his dust up onto a parapet. Who's using the Horn of Blasting? Is it Father Bloombad? Or
No, it was me.
Dalton? Okay, Dalton used the Horn of Blasting, and then half of this thing just explodes. Rocks fly everywhere. And then they, meanwhile, are still firing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So I'm still just tracking as best I can where Magnus is. On horse, that's got to be tough. Like, I don't know if I'm pulling up next to you and just holding.
I'm helping. Believe me, I'm not making your job harder.
I thought we were coming right through the cave, or is that not?
He said it's barred up.
Oh,
Well, I blew the hell up now.
Oh yeah, what happened? What happened to the bars part of the whole gate?
I can't really take credit. The horn blew it the hell up.
Yeah.
There's got to be access through the rubble, at least, if we want to get off the horses and crawl in, right?
I mean, our intention was to catch the edge of the gate, so it blew apart too.
Yes, that was our intention.
Yeah.
All right, that won't be a problem. You'll be able to climb up on the rubble and get right up on the keep, no problem. But currently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of your mercenaries takes it. 5
If
points.
we can take out all the people on the wall here by the time our mercenaries get here, then we go inside and we've got, we're storing whatever's inside with a lot of people, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're good. We got this.
All right.
I'm feeling optimistic.
All right,
too.
you made it through the first round of combat, and let's see.
Now
Declare any
second-
spells.
They missed the second volley?
Yeah, one of your mercenaries got hit for 5 points of damage.
But he's alive.
That's for a lot.
I'm struggling with whether. Yeah, we've got to do a second one. Sleep. I'll declare sleep.
Very well. All right, I see you rolled the initiative. Then after that, I'll roll initiative.
good.
House wins, so y'all are able to act first. This area, you could either ride around it, and I'll say that you can make it, or you can make it, dismount, and then make it up into combat. And I'll say that you can do that on your turn. You have horses, and you blew up part of the keep and everything. They have a bunch of, and it's kind of like this, like they have all these old stone steps and ladders and all this garbage here. You can kind of scale it in combat.
Tell the
Yeah,
Longamen
okay.
to dismount and start firing, and then I'll dismount and I'll run up in there.
All right.
Same.
You can move your tokens, but I think that this is true as well. There's stone. These are stone walls with like arrow spaces for arrows. They are about 10 feet across. So 10 feet across means there are 3 of you, but it depends on your weapon type whether or not you can use it in a 10-foot space.
Magic dagger. Just
Dagger,
get simpler than that.
you're good to go there. You can do it in 3 feet. Alaric, I believe you have a longsword.
Longsword.
I think a longsword
Oh.
requires 5 feet of space.
How about an ace?
A mace requires 5 feet of space, so it
Okay.
can only be one of you if you're fighting.
Does Does it explain it in here, the weapons space?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because I know it does in 1E. I just don't know
it
if it does
does.
in this.
It
Okay,
does.
good.
You may have not been here. We voted on this.
Oh, okay.
Can we scale the other side?
You could attempt to do that, but I'll make it a check, and you could fall because like it's.
The Great Bear asleep. Okay.
I mean, yeah, you could try.
Manakan's going to try that
Okay, right on.
because he
So,
can actually climb.
What
can-
rules do I look up so I'll know for future?
How high is it?
Of the weapons, is it 1E? Is it OSE? What is it?
It's swords and wizardry. It's in the combat section.
Oh, it's in the
under
combat
rules.
section. Okay.
Yeah, it's page 41.
So
How
okay.
high is it?
Cool. Yeah, I just didn't know.
This is more than 20 feet up. So if you fall, it's gonna be 2d6 damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Manakan can make a dexterity save and his thief skill and take the better of the two. Anyone else needs to make a dexterity save.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that then.
All right.
Okay, what's the benefit of this? I'm just wondering before I do this.
You'll be up here on the other side and be able to fight from the other side.
Okay, actually, Manakan is not the man to be. If he wasn't going to be in plain sight, maybe it would be another thing. But
And you
You
guys
can
have
scale
4
walls over to the left.
movement.
yeah, he's going to take shots and stuff.
You can scale walls over here and go and slit the sleeping guy's throats.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If anybody wants to do that, you can do a dexterity save. 2d6 damage if you fail. All right. So
All right.
everybody has
gonna-
moved.
No, not going to do that.
Yeah. I was gonna do a sling attack.
Okay, yeah, you can do a sling attack. They have +4, or I'm sorry, you have -4 because they're under heavy cover here, except for this guy here.
Well-
actually. Anyways, let's
Well,
see.
I'll go out your back then.
Yeah, Manakan is just going to take a couple of shots at that guy then.
So that was movement, and anyone doing missiles can do that now.
Good
Oh, I
lord.
got a 20. Nice.
Your target is ascending armor class 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And that takes out 2 of them.
Nice. Wow. We're doing great. Knock on wood.
And
A long time I can get it too, right?
yeah, I just rolled for the longbowman. And I see, John, that you rolled for your sling.
Yep.
You hit. You did. Who did you targeted? This guy here, 4 damage.
Yeah, the guy that was out in the open.
And same thing with Father Bloombad.
Actually, I was targeting this guy here, weakening him up for them.
All right. And all right, that is it. All right, and then anyone doing a melee attack can. I'm sorry, actually, they get to fire, so they're gonna do their missile attacks. He's gonna return fire, Caden.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
Yep.
He does 4 damage. And then this one's
Okay.
going to shoot at Manakan. Does a 16 hit Manakan?
Yeah.
And does 5 damage. And then this guy here is going to... He can't really fire from where he's at, actually. Yeah, he's got a longbow. That's his whole thing. I'll say he can. He's going to shoot at the mercenaries.
Did they fire?
The mercenaries
Yeah,
did fire, yes.
Okay.
And one of them is dead, the wounded one.
No.
And then another one's going to fire the last one and misses. Okay, that's their missile fire. You can now do your melee attacks.
I stab a guy with a knife for 8 damage.
Nice. The one right in front of you, I presume.
He has ceased to hobgobble.
Yes.
+4.
Indeed.
That's amazing.
All right.
Jesus, the hobgoblin. I like that.
These
All right,
are
I'm swinging my gobble, and I roll a minimum.
That one?
A natural 1 on both to hit and to damage.
Yeah, there you go.
Pain.
oh man.
One-on-one. Anytime I'm one-on-one, baby, I suck.
They
You,
only want-
you get more attacks, man. They've got 1 hit die.
Nope, they don't. They have 1+1. I get only one attack.
Really?
Yep, it's less than 1 hit point. One hit dice or less.
Oh, that's brutal.
All right, so let's see. That one has a chance to fight back, and gets a nat 20 against Alaric for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
That is all they can do. Any spells?
The rest of them fall asleep.
And all of a sudden they fall to just fall in front of you.
Amazing.
At this point, where's my...
I clap my hand on your shoulder, Flanagan, and just simply nod.
Yeah, I nod too. I'm sort of shaking my head. I can't believe what you do, friend.
Wouldn't have been able to do it without you.
Let's see,
Shoulder.
Nice. That's awesome. The orcs show up. The ones that have
Perfect.
survived. There's a handful of them. They say, "Good, you've taken out Margulgug," says to Magnus. "Good, you've destroyed the entrance. Now the battle can begin."
Yes, let us continue. The blood has only yet begun to flow.
They scream.
inside.
Yeah, and you will have 5 orcs with you in this narrow fighting space.
Nice.
But they're going to go.
Yeah.
Well, they will go in front of you if you let them.
Oh, we let them.
Oh yeah.
Let them have the glory.
Who's injured? I'm
That's-
still good.
They
I
can take
know
care of
that
these.
Flanagan and Alaric both took a hit, right?
Flesh wound.
Okay.
So did I.
As long as you're cool.
Yeah,
And then I say to Margulgug in a very suggestive, like very strong way, "You're no good to me dead."
He snarls. That's what you get out of that.
He's going in last, anyways. I'm sure.
Um,
I doubt it. But he's in front.
okay, now the
Right.
thing about this. So they pull up a hatch. They start going down. I'll describe what happens in a second. I have this little OSR token here. Sometimes that will represent the party, and I'll pan with that and I'll just use your tokens when we need them, because it's a very tight space and there's a lot of you. Okay, so here's what happens. They start to go down, and let's see. Oh boy.
Is my 5 trap still active?
Yes.
Should be.
Yes, it hasn't been 20 minutes, definitely.
Yeah.
Only
One,
seems like
one,
30.
one combat lasts 1 turn by the book.
Yeah.
You okay, so that was 2 turns. Oh,
No,
you
no, what
mean-
I
I'm sorry,
mean,
I see what you
At
mean.
the end, the
That's
combat
fine.
always lasts a turn unless it lasted longer than it did.
But-
It's own.
Gotcha.
But I would argue that this isn't a combat yet. I think
Well,
it
that's
lasts
okay.
as long as it is.
That's okay.
Because we didn't
That's
stop
okay.
and heal
Okay.
each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Caden, you do detect a trap beneath this hatch as the orcs are
Right.
starting to open it and pour down
What kind
into
of
it.
trap? Like,
Oh,
Some kind of deception down below.
yeah, I'm gonna tell back this real quick.
okay. I hold the orcs. A trap.
Yes, a cowardly trap.
How
gotta
far? How far
Got it.
below? How far below the entrance is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look down.
There's a shaft that goes down about 15 feet by a ladder, and then you detect the trap on the other end of the wall once you get down below.
Yeah, it's on the wall once you get down there.
If someone's got a lead in, I think we got to use the element of surprise. Flanagan will just head down.
It's no surprise they heard the hornet blasting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't want to sit here and try to like remove traps, right? We wanna-
Send Margulgug. Send the one most deserving of glory first.
Kidding. That's fine.
Margulgug, he thinks for a moment, and then he realizes you're not talking about him, and he's like, ah. And he takes somebody and throws him down there, and they just fall down, and then he like gets up on his feet, and he looks up, and then this happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. He is 2, 3, filled with arrows. As arrow slits cover the whole area down below, as you see arrows just crisscross. And he's just full of arrows, and he falls to the ground full of arrows.
Like mechanically fired arrows, or does it seem like it's erratic enough that it's people?
It's erratic enough that it's people.
Oh shit! Okay.
Where did they come from? What directions?
All from the south-facing wall.
So maybe it's not actually a wall.
This isn't actually the room we're in, right? Like this is. The room
Yeah,
we're in
no,
upstairs.
this is. You all aren't here yet. This is. But you can look down here and see this kind of.
Okay, so this is what we're looking down into. I gotcha.
We blast that wall with the horn.
If we blast the horn down here, the entire area might collapse. Whatever treasure that we're looking for, we're not going to get here to do that. Don't get me wrong, I'm tempted too. But...
And we can't see anything.
You should be able to see.
No. What I mean is, okay, so we can see that there's a wall, but we can't see.
Arrows coming out of it.
So is it an illusory wall?
No. I mean, you're about 15 feet up, but I think you
Oh,
can
I
kind of
see.
make it out more by reason than sight. That those are arrow slits. Like this is a kill zone.
Oh, I see.
They have fallen back and they're in a kill zone. And like if you come down the one way to get in, they're just going to unleash arrows into you.
Okay.
Is this? I ask. The heck's your name? Caden. Is that what you're sensing things in the south wall, or is it something else?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that true? Ross?
Yeah. It's there's a deception on the south wall.
What do we have up where we are
Okay.
before we go down
Now,
the ladder? What do we see around us?
hold up.
All of the the Chaos men are dead, and the fortress is half destroyed, and your
How-
mercenaries are.
How wide an area did the arrow slits cover? Like, was it an area 10 feet wide, 20 feet wide?
We didn't see them.
What's your intention, so I can help?
My
answer?
intention is to fill the space behind the arrow slits with a web.
Yeah, I'll say you can do that.
Okay, that's what I do.
Okay, is it a save?
No.
You can see them?
Well, no, I don't have to. It says fill an area up to 10 by 10 by 20 feet with sticky webs. Extremely difficult to get through. It takes one turn if a torch and sword or flaming sword are used.
I mean, it's
Creatures.
It's an
Aren't we
arrow
upstairs?
slit.
Is what I'm saying. Aren't we upstairs?
You're in this hatch, and then there's a shaft, and then you can see a south wall, and there's these
Right.
Oh,
slits.
see the wall where we are. Okay.
The
Yeah,
range
that's-
is
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
So anyway,
That
I'm hoping it'll mean at least it'll be difficult for them to move their bow arms around in there. And
Yeah.
Good enough
Anyway.
for me.
They lose their round, and whoever goes down currently can move without getting shot.
I will take point since I trust in Magnus, and also I haven't been hit yet. Feels like I should be the guy.
And Ross, because I think it might actually matter for our lives in a second, if you
I
could
go
just,
right next to you.
if you could have a look at the web description and make your own internal rulings on it before, just so.
Yeah,
you know.
I will, in fact, because I don't want you to miss something. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
there's-
deny you something, but
Well, part of the description specifically talks about the referee making an interpretation. So
I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on myself while he does that.
I'll follow along with Dalton, filling up whatever hallway he's in on his side.
Yeah.
so yeah, you're not sure how long this will last, but for at least this turn, anyone who wants to come down here now will not get shot by these arrows. That's what you get from the web.
Good
Okay.
use of a spell, in my mind.
So the orcs, they force their way down as well. You got one that's dead here, and
They know about the space behind the wall?
well, they do now. There's one of their own that got shot full of arrows.
If you mention that, they say no, that wasn't there.
Oh, it's new
It's
construction.
not their style. They've been remodeling.
All right,
Yeah, they're not so deceitful.
Dalton, what do you all do next? Where do you go?
I propose that we sweep around. Okay, orcs take the side to the west and go south. We'll take the side to the east and go south. How's
So
that
there's
sound,
more
you
than one
guys?
passage?
All right,
Okay.
I go alongside you. Whatever direction you're going in, I'm following right alongside.
Is there anybody?
You don't have to move my
not
token.
going?
Pretend I'm right there. Oh, I guess we are moving tokens.
I am going to go with Monacan and the orcs, I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the humans.
Could our longbowmen fire arrows into the arrow slits, presuming
Not
that there's
anymore.
somebody on the other side? Why not?
Well, because we just clogged
It's
that
filled
thing
with
up with
lead.
webbing.
We can still hit them.
Plus, you got to cut it right in front of it.
I think you could yell at them to do that, and then they will get a -4 among other things that would happen.
They can just stand there the entire duration of the webbing, firing in there.
We need to get all those mercenaries down here too.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. Mercenaries don't go in a dungeon.
Okay.
I thought they were adventuring mercenaries.
They go in adventures. They don't go in dungeons. Hirelings go in dungeons.
If there's any they can secure the area above us. That way, if there's any backup coming from somewhere else.
I'm continuing my my positioning in front of Magnus, so I'm staying with Magnus on the other side with the orcs.
Okay.
Okay.
Or to lose Magnus ever. Hey man, I've lost two magic users. We're not gonna lose another one.
All I've got left is one sleep spell.
Yeah, but the next day you'll have them all back again.
Yes, yes, and some darts. I
Sleep
loaded
spell,
up
that's a
on
big deal.
dart. I loaded up on darts. By the way, darts fire rate of 3.
Yeah.
Dalton and Magnus roll a d6, please.
The only reason I don't use them is that would seem silly. But they're
I'm gonna be in the second rank.
4.
3, 4.
That worked out way better than I
4.
expected.
Great. Okay. I'll even say that's your all's initiative, so no problems there. As you come around, Flanagan, Magnus, you see a door here, and what appears to used to be like a keep's dungeon walls have sort of decayed into the earth around it. This area is an earthen passage. You see a bunch of these chaos men huddled up here together, and you declare spells. This will probably be the last thing we do tonight.
When you say a bunch, I can't see what.
It is dark. You can't see, but you know there's a bunch in the dark, like around the corner.
I'm not going to use sleep this time. I've only got one left, so.
Save it.
Yeah. Well, I'll come in front then. You know what? No, I'm not actually. I'm going to hold the back. I'm going to make sure nothing comes out of this door and hits Magnus.
Okay.
A solid plan. Monacan's going to curve around the other side.
The orcs eagerly rush forward into battle, like not even questioning it. Of course, they're going to run in and fight. There's my second Flanagan. I was like confused.
Do we get to shoot missiles before they are blocking the way?
Yes. Yeah, you can either move or fire a missile.
It's a miss and a half. Good lord. Useless.
All right.
Can I... How many feet away are we talking?
And since if you're holding, I assume the light source is usually what you do. Did you move, Magnus? If you move, you can see around the corner. We'll just say, just so you can see, no big deal. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
Oh wow! Yikes!
I didn't know it was that many. Okay. It's too late to declare the spell.
You can catch whole person next round, so
It's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we'll survive the next couple seconds.
I was not in the very front.
Who's the?
Just pointing that out.
Is that a hireling in the back? Somebody got left
it's
behind.
It's a dog.
That's Flanagan.
He's
Oh,
watching
then he
the
should be
door.
next to Magnus.
Well, I said I was going to watch that door. So for this turn,
So you're gonna stay at it. Okay.
for this turn, I'm covering the rear. Next turn, I'll go up because I didn't know this, right? So
No, but all right. I thought you were protecting him because now he's exposed.
Well, no, I mean, it's all.
Is anyone
I'm-
else moving or firing a missile?
I will
No
be
one?
moving to melee contact.
Go ahead and move your token now. If you're moving, go ahead and move. Or if you're firing a missile, go ahead and do it. All right. They are
already
going to...
met.
It doesn't make sense that I don't know what happened there, so I'm not moving up to protect him because I don't know.
No worries.
No, I misunderstood. I thought you said you were next to him all the time.
These
Inside
guys
a bunch of orcs, he'll be fine.
are not going to be able to really turn around. And you commanded your mercenaries to fire arrows down in this hole, which probably is not going to hit them, but now they're trying to fire back. They think they're being attacked from two sides. I am going to say there's a chance that this is actually going to distract them, and it doesn't. But they're not able to fire, and they're not able to attack. So let's see. Anyways, 2, 3,
What's the
4.
area of the web?
It's
10 by
basically 20 feet wide, 10 feet high, 10 feet.
Right. I just want to make sure we're not running into the web. Is what I meant by that.
This is the second turn. Now, this is my ruling. Is I'm basically just going to see if they're able to. Yeah, they did really well. It says they can use like torches and swords and stuff to get out of it.
Okay. So
And
we don't have to worry about getting webbed.
And
Well, they need if they need a
They
sword
take
and a
damage
torch.
if they use torches because it burns and they take damage.
I don't know, but
I mean, it just says basically if you're using stuff, you can in like within 4 turns.
it
or
says if
something
they
like
have a
that.
sword and a torch, they can get out in 2 turns. If they have a, but yeah, that's why I
20
wanted to look at the
minutes.
description.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me look at it.
So if they've got
Usually the
torches,
webs are flammable.
1 turn if a torch and sword or flaming sword are used, or if there's creatures larger than a horse. Otherwise, it takes longer. Or creatures
Yeah,
larger than a horse take 2 turns.
Yeah, I think you're thinking 1E. I definitely think it says that about.
Yeah,
flaming
humans
weapons.
take 3 to 4 turns, it says.
yeah.
Okay.
You don't have a torch.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so yeah, because it takes that many turns, then they're stuck. They're stuck in a giant sticky web and they can't get out.
Woo!
So, what do you do?
Oh, it's turns, not rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap!
What do you do,
All right.
Dalton? Oh,
I
I'm
start
glad you all
stabbing.
brought that up. That's. All right, yeah.
Well, actually, hang on a second.
It means it's a
I'm
level
just gonna
2
throw this out
spell.
here. Are they obviously begging for mercy or doing other thing that would make it like a loathsome act to start like?
Oh, Lord.
stabbing?
I mean,
cares?
the orcs make this decision for you.
Yeah, the
all
orcs, the orcs are laying in.
Yeah, I figured.
And they just kill these helpless people that are hanging from spider webs.
All right,
And-
I'll let the orcs handle that one. I'll just keep a.
Yeah,
I don't lose sleep over that.
I will outsource this and thus become morally unculpable.
Yeah.
We've got our own little
That's more.
PMC growing up here.
And this is where that's what I was thinking and wasn't going to say.
Oh, I'm
And-
sorry.
No, it's okay. And that is the end of the adventure just for tonight.